afternoon. I'm coming to you from a place kind of special to me today. This is Lake Keoma State Park outside Oskaloosa. When I was engaged and taking my engagement photos, I came here to take those with my wife Suzanne. So it's been a few years since I've been back here. Today I want to talk to you from Exodus. We want to talk a little bit about Moses. We're going to read from Exodus 2 verses 11 through 15. Many years later, when Moses had grown up, he went out to visit his people, the Israelites, and he saw how hard they were first forced to work. During his visit, he saw an Egyptian beating one of the Hebrew slaves. After looking around to make sure no one was watching, and that's key there, after looking around to make sure no one was watching, Moses killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand. The next day, as Moses was out visiting the people again, he saw two Hebrew men fighting. "What are you doing, hitting your neighbor like that?" Moses said to the one in the wrong. "Who do you think you are?" the man replied. "Who appointed you to be our prince and judge? Do you plan to kill me as you killed that Egyptian yesterday?" Moses was badly frightened because he realized that everyone knew what he had done. And sure enough, when Pharaoh heard about it, he gave orders to have Moses arrested and killed. But Moses fled from Pharaoh and escaped to the land of Midian. I want to talk about this today because we see a lot of it coming to Iowa, things like this, situations like this. How many politicians have been very popular and it looks like they're going to have landslide victories, only to have something that's discovered later that happened years before kind of derail that or interrupt that process for a campaign? How many of you have things that in your life maybe you've done years ago that come back to haunt you, that come back to bite you in the butt? Moses knew what he was doing was wrong. Like, he looked very specifically to make sure no one was watching him. So he knew what was right and wrong, but he chooses to have this fit of anger. He gets angry at seeing that his people are being beat and seeing the pain and the suffering that the Hebrew is going through. So he goes ahead and he takes matters into his own hands. He strikes out with anger, with vengeance, with revenge. That's not what God would have wanted him to do. He doesn't consider that. He doesn't really stop to pray or to say, you know, what's God want me to do here? He just does what he wants to do. How often do we do that in our own lives? How often do we just respond to the situations that are around us? We see something that we want to be ours and we take it. We're down here on the beach and we're walking along and we see somebody's sandcastle that they put a long time and effort into, and we just kick it over because we're having a bad day. I think we react a lot. We react a lot to our environment, to our surroundings, to our friends, to our family. And I don't think we ask ourselves that question enough. What would God want me to do in this situation? How would God want me to respond? So as you go through the day today, I want you to take time when you make decisions to ask yourself, what would God want me to do here? How would God want me to make this decision? How would God want me to witness to somebody else through my actions, through the decisions that I make? I'll be praying for all of you. I'll be praying that as you go through the day, you're able to make decisions that are God-centered. I'm praying for myself and for the staff at Wesley Woods that we can do the same things as we look towards the summer of 2012, as we host retreat guests, as we have families and we try to find balances between Sabbath and ministry, that we do so taking God's plan, God's ideas, God's thoughts into consideration. So God bless you and have a good day.